people who are supposed to serve and protect me. I also know what it feels like to be a black student at a university in America, working my butt off, thousands upon thousands of dollars in debt, just to hear Justice Scalia opine that people like me don't belong in that school anyway, that I most likely can't succeed. However, I also recognize my privilege. I know that many of the people I see in my community do not have the opportunities I have been given. I know many children of Mexican immigrants who are scared to death that this country might elect Donald Trump and their families could be at risk of being broken up. I know minority high school students who have to constantly hear Donald Trump's hateful statements echoed by their peers in an age where we are supposed to be combating bullying, not electing it. My best friend, who is full of talent and passion, had to drop out of college and put her dreams on the back burner because those dreams were no longer affordable. I have neighbors who can't even consider going to college because they were born in the wrong social class. I have friends who haven't been to a doctor in years because they cannot afford it, and I know that most of my close friends are scared that if they wear a hoodie in the wrong neighborhood, their little brother plays with a toy gun, or we grab our license too quickly when we get pulled over, the results could be an early funeral. And to top it all off, my generation is terrified to death that our planet might not be habitable for our children and grandchildren. These are not conditions in which one can pursue happiness. But we are rising up, and contrary to what some will have you believe, we are not rising up to take your guns, force you to gay marry, or hand over your guest bedroom to a Syrian refugee. We are not here to make you apologize for your whiteness. We are simply acknowledging the pain that the wounds of American history still inflict. Let's not let those wounds fester. It's not easy for us as Americans to talk about our scars, so please don't assume anyone enjoys playing the victim. Pain is not imaginary, but we are here to show that love overcomes hate, equality overcomes bigotry, freedom overcomes money, and we the people overcome those who wish to push us out of our democracy. Now, sometimes we are characterized as being unaware of the importance of hard work, or that we just want free stuff and handouts. Which is funny because the dedicated faces I see here today are the people in America that have realized that freedom is not going to be free. And last I checked, the establishment sure as hell not handing out a pass that accesses the American dream. No, the way I see it is the billionaires who want free reign to exploit our economy. And it is the corporate elite who are getting the lion's share of the handouts. If we are the lazy Americans, if we truly only desire handouts, then why are we the ones building this movement from close to nothing? Why are we the ones willing to fight this uphill battle? I don't see laziness here today. I see action and I see progress. Now, to those who wish to paint us as radical, big government socialists, I say that monitoring mosques, rounding up and deporting workers, bailing out the big banks, sending my peers to war, telling someone who they can marry or even love, continuing a failed drug war, disproportionately locking up minorities, allowing police to freely kill unarmed black children, and telling a woman what she can do with her body are all examples of big government, and it is not us who support any of that. It seems to me that our opponents want big government for the powerful, when special interests are at hand, and small government for the least of these when it is time to show compassion. They demand Bernie Sanders explain how we dare pay for healthcare and education, but didn't ask how they were going to pay for war. No. But we must not become content with the righteousness of our ideals or the quality of our values. The advantage of our spirit is worthless without the persistence of our progress. The burden I felt to give my peers a voice here today is the same burden we must use as our motivation to save our country. We must demand progress. In the words of my favorite president, the test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance who have much, it is whether we provide for those who have little. Shortly after he was interrupted in Seattle, I sat with Senator Gregory Bernie Sanders, along with many leaders of our community, who realized that black lives do in fact matter. He didn't ask us for our birth certificates, a price of admission, a photo ID, or our party affiliation. He just listened. But listening is not enough. It is action that enables progress. And Bernie Sanders not only listened to us, but immediately acted. This is the mark of a true leader, not one who can exploit the worst elements of our society, such as bigotry, xenophobia, and hate, but rather one who can harness the best aspects of our humanity: compassion, justice, and the desire to be better. Now this week we celebrated Martin Luther King Day, and I want to quote him quickly before I'm done. We can't solve our problem now until there is a radical redistribution of economic and political power. The evils of racism, economic exploitation, and militarism are all tied together, and you cannot get rid of one without getting rid of the others. My friends, our opponents are trying to slander us by saying we want to drastically change America. But they said the same to Dr. King. They call it radical change. I call it persistent progress. Now let me leave you with this thought. The media and the special interest groups want you to believe we don't have a chance. Let me tell you, they did not poll me. No, they did not call us to ask us who has the momentum in this race. This election is going to depend on turnout, and one thing I have learned through working in politics is turnout depends on excitement. And you cannot tell me that the people that we are surrounded by today aren't the most motivated people in the country. The motivation of hate is no match for what we have. It is our job to harness the energy we feel here today and use it to overcome this epic battle. The establishment doesn't like the movement Bernie Sanders is coalescing. The political elite are uncomfortable with our passion. And the billionaires who are attempting to take over this country are realizing that we are going to put up one hell of a fight, and it's time to man our battle stations. My brothers and sisters of all colors, whether you look like me or you don't, I tell you to fight hard for your values. We have never seen a candidate like Bernie Sanders. This is our opportunity, folks, and it's going to take much more than rallies. Facebook posts are not enough. Bumper stickers are not going to get this one done, but we have the truth, the virtue of our values, and the true American spirit on our side. The kind of American spirit that we use to gain our freedom from the most powerful empire in the world and to kick slavery off of our shores and ensure that the Constitution applied to all. The spirit we used to obliterate Hitler and the Nazis, proving once more that hate will not defeat us. Oh no, not us. The American spirit that lifted our nation out of the Great Depression and started to demand that the American dream be attainable for all. That American spirit is what I sense in this crowd today. We will not be silent, we will be loud. The issues that face America today, such as systematic racism, global climate change, economic exploitation, corrupt campaign financing, and the fruits of hateful rhetoric must be addressed, and Bernie Sanders is the only candidate that I trust to do that. So today I stand with Sean King, Dr. Cornel West, and Killer Mike, and I throw my support to Bernie Sanders, the next president of the United States.